just for you, just for you. I hope you're doing well and staying safe and sound. Whenever I soft speak, everyone always tells me I sound like I'm gonna cry, so that's great. But today's video is going to be a bit of a board game collection video, except these are not all my board games, so I guess it's not like a complete collection, but I've got quite a few board games, so I just thought I would grab a bunch and then call it a day. Sorry, I thought they were falling. I have a bunch behind me. I have a bunch stacked right here. You can kind of see it. But I am just gonna tap on them, talk a little bit about them, and yeah, that's gonna be the video for today. I have little key earrings. They're handmade from like, well, they're not keys. They're like gears, and like basically the lady like takes apart watches and like different little like gadgets and makes earrings out of them. And you know I love a good earring. So I'm gonna start with Catan. Well, this is technically the extension, but I didn't want to get out the box. It's right there. I have Catan and Catan Seafarers expansion. I have a big family, so of course I had to get the extension. Catan is actually not my favorite board game. I said it was in a recent like video I did with GB, but it was because I was blanking on every board game ever when she asked me what my favorite board game was. But I really love Catan. It's a good classic game. I actually played Catan with GB and Ben, and Ben kicked my butt. But we've got C-A-T-A. It's a good like little like strategy, like I don't know the exact terms for board games. I know there's a term for it where you're like building. It's gonna kill me. I know there's a term for like, I don't know. But yeah, so that's one. And then Seafarers, of course. Gives you like little island kind of expansions. Island expansions. So that's fun. But I actually really like, I said this, I think, maybe the last video. I like narrative kind of board games. So currently, actually, I have two favorite board games. I'm actually in the middle of playing this one, so I'm only gonna be showing you the lid because the rest of it is actually on the table. But it's called Mansions of Madness, and it's a cooperative game, and you kind of explore like a house, a mansion, and there's like mystery. It's like Lovecraftian based, like I showed y'all. It's got the little figures and stuff, and you make decisions, kind of things. You have different items. at me, but I might have gotten myself a PlayStation for Christmas, so Ragnarok can be played. Mansions of Madness. It's got different scenarios that you play through. It's like paired with like a computer, like an iPad or whatever, and like it kind of DMs it. So see, like here's some of the rooms, and I use the dice in a video lately. I'm losing track. And basically there's just different mysteries, different scenarios for each, and it's cooperative, so you play with other people, but you can do it one player as well. And basically like you just solve it together. But yeah, it's got like little different things. I love it. I love having scenarios to go through and like figure it out. I really like this one because there's like little puzzles and you kind of have to solve them, and sometimes you have to think. But another one I really like is, well, there's a lot of pieces in it, but it's a Lord of the Rings. It's made by the same company actually, which I knew because when I started playing Mansions of Madness, I was like, this is very similar in like gameplay, not in content but in gameplay. But I like Mansions a little bit more. But this is Lord of the Rings, the whole, like if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, which I'm only like a minor fan, like I've only read the first Lord of the Rings book, and I've seen all the movies and like the Hobbit movies, but I'm not like a major fan. But this is really fun. It's a fun like cooperative one. Little orcs. And it's got tiles. It's the same sort of concept where you move around the board, explore, talk to people, kind of thing. I think it's a blast. It's really fun. And you have to pick who you want to be. It's fun. I have a few more games like that in the pile, but we're going down, so these are like my regular like party games. Whenever anyone comes to my house, I always play games. It's like a staple. Board games are a staple. So I tend to have a lot of party games. Like I have What Do You Meme and a couple other ones, but they're like under my TV console. But I have Red Flags, which is kind of like, how do I do it? It's a group game. It's pretty simple. You basically like have one person who like needs a date, and you have good little white cards that has like positive attributes. So like, I don't know, professional football player. That's not a positive to me. But, or owns a 500-foot yacht. But the other players have red flags, so they'll put it on like has a blank fetish, and they'll play it on your date that you pitched to this person, and now you have to kind of like pitch it again, but like why it's not so bad that they have like a, I don't know, whatever, you can put whatever fetish here. So it's really funny. It's really fun to play with like a group of friends. I think I played this at a Christmas party last year. I just moved, so I have 0 friends here, but it's always a work in progress. I've got the board games ready. I just don't know how to make friends like when I'm not in a college setting, if that makes sense. I've always made my friends like in a school setting, and I work from home now. So, and all my hobbies are like sort of like just solo hobbies. So, yeah, it's a fun game. And I'm working on making friends, so they can come play games. But I really like that. And then this one's also good. It's like, what was it called? Like Mad Gab or something. It's literally just that, but they rebranded it. And I honestly, it's kind of copying. Except I grew up very, very, very Christian, and I had the Bible edition of Mad Gab or whatever it was called. So, INCOHERENT. It's called Incoherent. And you're basically trying to guess what the person's saying. You get points for it. So, like, for example, shaky, shaky. You would go, you guys would see this side if you guys were the one guessing, and you would go, Cape in cup with hug hard ashy ends. Cape in cup with hug hard ashy ends. Keeping up with the Kardashians. And there's like a hint on the back. So you do like 3 in a row or so. You go, wet thing sees hen. Wet thing sees hen. Wedding season. So it's fun also to play with friends. It's a like party kind of game. So I like that one. And then this one's unwrapped, but purely because I left my version of it at my parents' house because they really like it. This is one of my favorite trivia games, actually. And I highly recommend it if you have like a very like multi-generational family. I know most obviously like people do, but like if you have events where you have like your grandparents, your parents, like uncles, aunts, and then like if you're in like the Gen Z millennial kind of age, I highly recommend this trivia game. It's called Mind the Gap because there are 4 categories: Boomer, Gen X, Millennial, Gen Z. So there's questions from different time periods. Because I love Trivial Pursuit, right? Trivia Pursuit, whatever. I have that as well. The problem is oftentimes like some of the questions are like from the 30s or 20s about like music or like whatever, and I just don't know those things. But this has such a diverse amount of questions, and you have to get through each category, so it makes it a little more fair in my opinion. I always get stuck on the Boomer section though, and if you play this, I highly recommend starting on Boomer because then I feel like you get out of it earlier. But they have different categories. They have like music, history, yada yada yada. So I really like it. I really, really like it. And I've gotten it for like every family ever, and they always love it. So highly recommend Boomer, Gen X, Millennial, Gen Z. I could spend hours on this game. Okay. I also really like Munchkin. I saw this like dad and son and like their friend playing it at like a board game store one time, and I like was listening, like half listening, half watching them, which is kind of creepy, I guess. But they were playing like the regular Munchkin. And it looked so fun. And I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw they had a Warhammer version. So I got that. Munchkamerh, Age of Sigmar. And basically it's kind of like a deck building game. There's little monsters and like stuff like that. It's really fun. It's you get different treasures, you get different monsters, you get different little things. You're exploring, killing monsters, stealing treasures, stabbing other people in the back kind of vibe. Oh, just so you know, I am a big sore loser. Well, not a big sore loser. I get sad when I lose, but it's because I'm really competitive, right? But I'm the biggest loser when people don't play correctly, and then they win. Then I get really mad. I always am the one to read the rule book. Maybe this is older sister thing or whatever. But every time I let someone else read the rule book and just let them take the lead, they end up playing it wrong, and then they win, right? And then I read the rule book and they weren't even playing it right. And I get so mad. I'm not into screaming fights with my friends. Because one time we were playing, I think Monikers, if you've ever played that game. It's basically like Fishbowl. And they won, but only because they played it wrong, and like you're supposed to let the other team start first if you're losing, so obviously they could get through it quicker. And they were all like gloating and like, oh, we won. I was like, here's the rules, you did not win. But just know that playing board games with me is a very serious serious event, especially with the narrative ones, because I do it for myself too. Like, if I'm supposed to take damage, I'm like, wait, I need damage, like, come on. Like, I am very much a stickler for rules. I was always that kid. I'm sorry if that ruins any image of me that you have, but I am a stickler for rules. My tattoo is in the itchy phase. Do you like it though? It's cute. It's got the dolphin, little frog, strawberries. Okay, I've got 4 more board games for you. 4 more, and then I'm done. I've got Betrayal, At the House on the Hill. It's a strategy game. This has a bunch of scenarios as well. You're basically going through a house. I played this with friends. It's sort of like the mansion one, but it's not as narrative in my opinion. You're just basically exploring until the house turns on you. There's gonna be a traitor most of the times. There's 50 scenarios. And you're just investigating, seeing the monsters, stuff like that. I think it's really fun. I think it's a little less fun than Mansions of Madness, but I think it's shorter, in my opinion. I think the Mansions scenario, just the one scenario I've done so far, was like an hour and a half. So, okay. Here's one of my other favorite board games. Sorry, all the pieces. I got this, and then each scenario is about 2 hours. Okay. Keep that in mind. And then there's about, I believe, 5 scenarios included in this, and then there's DLC. I played through the entire game in one night. Like straight through. My neck hurts so badly. I love this game though. It's called Destinies. Not to be confused with Destiny, which my brother has always been obsessed with. Though he's more of a Val guy now, which I suck at Val. This is a story-driven game, but it's not cooperative. You're like against each other. Okay. But it's like a competitive, story-driven game of adventure and exploration. I adore this one, and what's really cool is that every scenario kind of builds on each other, sort of. It's like there are references, and like, I don't know, it's just really, really fun. But I spent like 10 hours straight, not including setups and stuff. But I love it. I do prefer cooperative rather than competitive, but this, if you like competitive games, so freaking good. So good. Highly, highly recommend this game. It was so engaging. But it's very, like, I don't know. It's fantasy as well, which I love. I love fantasy, like I said. So, highly recommend. Okay. These last two I have not played yet, but I need to play them. This is Attack on Titan: The Last Stand. I'm a big Attack on Titan fan, so I have read the manga and watched all the anime. But I haven't played this yet. You play as either the Titan or, like, you know, the scouts, the heroes. So we'll see. Titan stands 15 inches tall. Mid. So that, and then I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to lift this. It's so heavy. But I talked about this in my last video. It's so heavy, like, no joke. This is like 15 pounds. This is called Gloomhaven. And it's a cooperative game. And it is apparently humongous. I can't even get over there. Get over there. It's like campaign. It's like a D&D, I believe. That's what I've heard. But there's 95 scenarios, so that's exciting. I bought what's it called? Not a divider. An organizer for it, because all the reviews I read were like, you need an organizer for this. But I just spent $100 on the organizer. And I have to put it together myself. So I got some little, like, glue. It's like a wood one. So, there she blows. Oh, I've also got Sailor Moon Monopoly. My best friends got me for that. Not for anything, they just said, I saw this and I thought of you. So, but that's all the board games I wanted to show. I have a couple more. I left at home as well, like my parents' home. I didn't bring with me, but I love board games. So if you have any board game recommendations, please, like, I genuinely would love to hear them, because I love board games. So freaking much. But I've always been a board game person from birth. Not birth. My dad is always the type to never let me win a board game. He said I had to earn it, so I've always been really competitive. But thank you so much for watching this video. What is this, day 5? I forgot to say that. I was just invested in showing you my board games. But thank you so much. And don't forget, I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, or night, wherever you may be. Okay.